Welcome back, Lifers. It's your fam, Natalie
And Nicole.
Oh, I don't know what that was. And today is Free for All Friday. Free for All Friday.
Hey.
Free for All Friday.
Hey.
Free for All Friday. Welcome back to another episode of It's Your Life 20s.
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
Oh wow, that was nice.
Hi. Today's Friday. Nicole will be going out of town because Jody has planned something really nice
Where am I going?
for our birthday.
Where am I going?
So she's going to. I'm not gonna tell her. She's been asking. Nicole is just ugh.
Where am I going?
I'm not gonna tell you. So yes,
Okay.
just want to come
I know it's too
here
late.
and we just want to read a couple of Reddit stories. You know, people be going through some stuff too, and they be needing advice, but the advice is written plainly, y'all. I'm wondering though, for real. After these people type this stuff, do they be
come
like,
back? Yeah.
I shouldn't have put that out there for the world to see? Because we were just browsing. I was just browsing some, so Nicole was like, "Well, now you gotta pick one." I'm like, "Girl,
Yeah.
the titles I'm reading. One title just before Nicole starts her, it says, "I went to a swingers party and I think I slept with my sister." Huh? Y'all nasty. Y'all, you're nasty. So anyways, we're just gonna come up here.
Let's
We're
get
gonna
into it.
read just a little bit of Reddit story, and Nicole just said, let's get into it. That's my cue. Shut up.
So it says, my wife lied about having a miscarriage and instead had an abortion. I don't know what to do. My wife and I have been married for 3 years, and for the past year, we have been trying for a child. We both wanted to have children, and after we got married, we decided first buy a house and get things in order financially before having children. Last year, we both mutually agreed that we were in the right place to try for a child. In fact, it was my wife who put the idea forward. A little over 8 months ago, my wife found out she was 6 weeks pregnant with our first child. I was elated. I had always wanted to be a father, and it seemed like something I never thought was possible was coming true. My wife and I began buying parenting books, planning a nursery, just doing all the stuff first-time parents do. I had never been happier at this moment. Several weeks later, I had to fly out of the country for a work conference. I was gone for about 8 days. Whilst I was abroad, my wife called, okay? She was crying and told me she had a miscarriage. She was 18 weeks pregnant at this point. I flew back home immediately and told work that I had a family emergency. I was devastated with the news, but I never properly mourned, as I felt I had to be emotionally strong for my wife, who was a wreck. This was a tough period for both of us, and I thought we had come out stronger as a couple. I knew I had to give my wife some time and space before we could approach the subject again, especially with this being what I thought her first miscarriage. However, a week ago, a friend of my wife's called and told me she had something important to tell me. Apparently, my wife had scheduled an abortion whilst I was away at a conference. My wife's reasoning being that she wasn't ready to be a parent. My wife also said didn't want me to know about the abortion because I was so excited to be a parent and she didn't want to hurt me. At first, I didn't believe this to be true, but after confronting my wife, she told me that yes, she in fact aborted our child. I'm in shock right now. I'm hurt, angry, and upset. I just don't understand why she didn't just speak to me about it. Maybe we could have talked this through, but right now, I'm so mad that she went behind my back and led me to believe she lost our child. I understand that my wife is the one carrying the child, and at the end has the right to make any decision she wants, but why lie about the whole situation? I do not know whether to carry on with the relationship or not. I love my wife, but this is a huge betrayal to me. This tongue ring is, and I can't even look at her right now. She's currently crying and begging me to forgive her. I've just gone down to the spare bedroom and locked myself inside. Please, someone tell me what to do.
It's just so hurtful, though. It's just so, I don't know.
Oh, wait, because it was an update. Sorry. He said, update, I don't want this post to be long. So I was telling this whole mess up. She was not having an affair. Around 12 to 13 weeks of pregnancy, my wife had several screenings and diagnostic tests done, CBS, and it came back that our child had Down syndrome. One thing we stupidly avoided was talking about the chance that if our child had Down syndrome or any genetic abnormality. What does that mean? I'm confused. So that's all they said. So does that mean that now it's okay? I'm confused.
Right, I'm confused too.
I'm confused. Interesting. Anyway,
To the first part, I would say that you weren't the butthole, but I mean, you're still not to me.
yeah, I will say this: a child, in my eyes, and I can't say what I would do if and I'm not gonna say knock on wood because it's not the end all. Okay, if my child had any medical issues, I would love my child regardless.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And I know other people that have the right to choose and that's up to them. But for me, I would love my kid, like, because I know how hard it is to get pregnant again. So for me,
Yeah,
I would love on my child. I don't think that I don't think that if she my only thing is that she did it without consulting you. That's it. That's my thing. That is a huge decision to make, and to make it by yourself when both of you equally made this child. I think is very selfish of her. Because if she didn't, it's just not a decision that should have been made by herself. So I think that's really jacked up. And I hope, maybe with some counseling you guys can work through it. That's a lot. I don't know and that's just me being honest. I don't know if I can work if I was a man and my significant other decided to abort my child. I don't think I'll be able to.
I don't. No. I don't. I just couldn't. I mean, teach his own, but that's just not. No.
Yeah.
So this one says, am I the butthole for getting upset at my wife for abandoning me during our wedding reception? The title sounds weird. I didn't mean she abandoned our relationship or our wedding. I'll explain. My wife and I got married on Saturday and everything up until the ceremony was perfect. But later during the reception, I barely spent time with her. The whole time during wedding planning, both of us would reassure each other how this wedding is about us, the couple, and we have to enjoy it first and foremost. But I didn't enjoy any of it. I spent time with my loved ones and even friends I haven't seen in a while, but my wife was completely gone, only hanging out with her friends or her side of the family. We just had our first dance together, ate together, and after that, I barely spoke to her throughout the entire night. I enjoyed talking to my friends and family, don't get me wrong, but I was so upset how the person I just got married to barely spent a second with me. She was dancing with friends, getting drunk with friends, and only checked up on me once every 2 to 3 hours. Whenever I try to go up to her, she'll completely ignore me as if I'm the unwanted person of a high school trio.
Oh, wow.
I voiced this concern to my wife yesterday, and she got very mad at me. She said I'm being ridiculous, complaining over this, and how it's not that big of a deal. We spent time every day together, and on our wedding, she wanted to catch up with old friends and her family and speak to people she hadn't seen in a while. She said I'm being an ungrateful brat by complaining because we shouldn't be glued together during our whole wedding. She said the wedding is about celebrating with your loved ones as well, and it's not about me and my hurt feelings. I didn't expect to be glued to her. I just wish we'd spend some more time together as newlyweds. Am I the butthole for getting upset? I also want to clarify that during the convo I had with her, I mentioned something along the lines of, how would you feel if I ditched you and hung out with my boys the entire night? And the only response she had was that it's not the same. Because many of you seem to be missing the point, I'll explain a bit further. She didn't try to entertain her entire part of the guest list Yes, mother, we're recording.
She didn't try to entertain her entire part of the guest list. What she said about trying to catch up with old friends and relatives was a complete BS, because she mostly hung out with her best friends, who she sees multiple times a month, and her family, who she also sees. She didn't spend time just going around trying to speak to everyone. She did that as well, and I did that too, but she was mostly with her girls, and she said she'd be mad at me if I was doing the same thing she did, and I ignored her to be with the homies all night, because when men do it, it's different. Girl, you got double standards. You not the butthole. I feel him. It's our wedding.
Right,
Of course,
right.
going around to every, making sure she's greeting guests, sort of like what Mike and Tina did at the banquet. They
Yeah.
went to every table.
Yep,
They went to every
It's so
table.
freaking regal, man.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Tina looks so daggone good. Mike did too.
Yeah, they look regal. I was like,
But they
ooh.
okay. Tina with her TR.
Yeah, they look
Girl,
good. They did.
but
They look good.
just like they did is what I expect for you to do at your
Yeah.
wedding or be at my wedding. Go to each guest.
I'm
Thank
here to
them.
celebrate you.
Right.
I could have been anywhere else but here.
Thank you for celebrating this time with me. Just giving the
Get your
hugs.
cake.
Nicole, I can't. It's okay. Up here.
Okay, never mind. Continue.
I'm gonna go get some more.
Continue.
Oops, I know, I put it back. Just going to each table and just thanking them, whatever. And then they went back with each other.
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
This ain't no time you sit up. No,
This is the
this
person
is
you
your
spend-
wedding. This is the
ain't
person
no
you right. This is
way.
the person you spend the rest of your life with.
She's
No,
weird.
okay, you're not the butthole, but she tried to turn around on you, gaslight you.
Yes.
Severely.
Yeah,
Next,
okay.
next caller.
Am I the butthole for refusing to let my wife's mom live with us even after my wife brought her bags in
So
behind
I
my
was
back?
looking at that one. Okay, go ahead.
So long story short, my mother-in-law can no longer pay mortgage and has been asking for help. I went out of my way to find solutions for her, but unless it meant moving in with us, I made that clear to her. Heck, I even ordered a couple of payments I even covered a couple of payments in the future. But obviously, this isn't a long-term solution, and my wife wants her mom to live in a stable environment. So I suggested a care home. For some reason, it was absolutely an absolutely outrageous suggestion, because my wife got so mad at me for it, even though I assured her about how it was the best option, even trying to get her listed because the waiting period can be long. My wife shut all my suggestions down and kept pressuring me to let her mom come live with us in our apartment studio. Like, folks, you can barely move in the apartment, and it's not for elderly. When my mother-in-law visited, she expressed how close and suffocating the place is. So y'all live in a studio apartment.
And she wants to bring your mother-in-law with. Talk about cramp.
Fast forward 3 months later, last Monday after I got off work, I saw that my wife had set a table and made dinner for me. Second time she did that in our entire relationship. Dang. So I sat down eating, and she was with me until she got up, went into the room for 5 minutes, and came back and stood in front of me with a wooden frame that had writing +1 on it. I was so confused that I asked if she was pregnant. She was like, no, we've already talked about that. I shrugged and asked what the sign meant, and she responded there was going to be a third resident in our apartment, and they revealed to me all of her mom's bags in the living room. I saw this and I lost it.
Her mama moving in?
I told her she had no right to blindside me like this and force me to have her mom come live with us. She started pleading with me, saying she had no other choice, but I firmly told her, yes, you did have a choice. And that if she let me list her mom to live in a care home where she could be surrounded by people her age and people who could actually provide care, then we wouldn't even be having this argument. She called me a selfish a-hole for basically kicking out her mom and causing her to become homeless. I said I could see about letting her stay temporarily until she gets her own place, which, let's be honest, she will never be able to afford because the housing market is crap right now. Agreed to go into a home. I said this was final, but she started crying, calling me cruel and cold, and then asked if I would act the same way if this was my mom. I reminded her that I'd never basically spring my mom on her like that and have her share a very limited space with us, even when there are other options out there. She hasn't been speaking to me, and I is now saying that either I let her mom live with us for good, or she, my wife, will be moving out. Who
is the a-hole here.
Your wife, first of all, that's,
I don't know.
I understand where he's coming from.
I do too. I do too.
It's cramped.
It's a studio apartment, but let me tell you right now, Jody, if my mother called me telling me she needed a place to go, she gonna be right there with me. So that's why
But I'm not saying if it's temporary though, because my thing is, what if he doesn't want her mother to be uncomfortable? Like he said, there are other options. You're being selfish.
Mary called me.
You're being selfish.
She's coming to stay with me. So I don't know. I feel what he said. She went behind his back and all the other stuff, and it already seems like mother-in-law and wife doesn't respect boundaries. And so you already know that you will have no say-so in your house.
Yep,
once
none.
your mother-in-law come in there. So I can get what you're saying, but.
And like I said, it's cramped.
She went behind your back. What's y'all going behind y'all mate's back? Y'all are
No,
silly.
communication,
Silly,
open
silly,
communication.
silly.
I crave open communication. I crave open communication. Open dialogue. We don't believe in sweeping stuff around the rug. Don't do that with me.
Under the rug?
Did I say around?
Yeah, you did. Thank you for correcting me. You got something right there. Can you get out?
It's a dry flake.
Her mustache. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think he's the butthole in that sense. I think they're both. I don't know, but just to suggest to put, he did say that
he said it was other. Yeah.
He said he offered to pay some his maybe okay instead of getting a mortgage, maybe she just need to get her an apartment. You have to worry about down payment or nothing like that. Just first and last month's rent. And which is the security deposit.
Okay.
Move in the middle of the month so you can be prorated. I'm trying to get you free game. Okay, and find you a place with free water.
Please.
Maybe cable included, so you can watch your stories. Come on, mother-in-law, we're trying to give you options here.
Okay, you have options. Clearly, you didn't want them, so you give them.
They
options.
they have care homes, as he calls it. He got to be something else, because I call them nursing homes. they have
something else.
okay. They got care homes that you can have. That's like an apartment. You can have your own little. We're trying to give you options here, mother-in-law. And if your daughter, if she don't like these options, she can move in with you and be your roommate at the care home. Nursing home.
The way she going, she just might.
I mean, she just might. And now he got the whole studio apartment to himself, and he ain't got to share a bed with nobody. Okay,
boom. Am I the butthole for kicking my sister-in-law and her kids out? Hi. Throwaway for obvious reasons. I, 34 male, and my husband, 35 male, have 3 kids. CJ, who's 14. Jay, who is 6F. And a 2F.
female.
Oh, 6. I was about to say what?
Wow, 9 minutes.
Whatever. 2 female who we adopt. So they got 2. All together, they got 3 kids.
Okay. I mean, that wasn't that hard to say.
About 2 weeks ago, my sister-in-law, 38 female, found out her husband was cheating and asked to come stay with us for a little while with her 4 kids so she could figure a thing out. That's 7 kids plus 3 adults. That's 10 people in the house. My husband and I didn't hesitate to let them come over since we had the space.
What y'all say? What y'all do for a living?
Okay.
Y'all got room for one more? Well, I come with packages of 2 more.
Okay, on the current issue in the events leading, onto the current issues in the events leading up. CJ, who is 14, remember, is type 1 diabetic, and due to the past, he has food aversion, so we buy him low sugar snacks that he will eat to take with him to school.
Yeah.
And to have at after school activities. I pack these for him every night and put the bag on the counter, and he grabs it before my brother takes him to school. I have got an email from the teacher and his dance coach this week about making sure he has enough snacks, or if I wanted to keep some at the school, and he forgot. He never forgets, and my husband and I decided to sit down with him because people forget, but we don't want his sugar to bottom out either. Completely understandable.
Yes.
The whole time CJ tries to avoid the subject, but he finally said that we just need to, but we finally told him that
We just need to know what was going on. He tells us that his cousins have a habit of getting into his snack bag before he grabs it in the morning. And when he asked his aunt, she told him that it wasn't fair that he got snacks his cousins enjoyed, and everyone needs to be treated
How old is he
fairly.
now?
14. If he don't punch them kids in the throat, but anyway, go ahead.
No, CJ, don't do that.
I was living and
Don't
went
do
to
that.
confront her, and she told me that it wasn't fair he was giving special treatment when her kids needed comfort in this difficult time. That young man has diabetes.
Well, if your kids
What's
need
special?
comfort, buy them comfort food, sister.
Like,
You buy it. That's why they are your kids.
I tried to explain about his diabetes, and she said it was an excuse to favor CJ. The argument got more and more heated, and my husband got involved to try and defuse the situation. When the situation was dying down, in passing, she said, "I hate you're choosing those kids over real family."
Oh, sister, you gotta go.
And it rubbed me the wrong way, and I told her to get out. She begged
Okay.
us not to.
You gotta go.
But this isn't the first comment she made about our kids not being our kids, because remember, they adopted them.
Yeah, you gotta go.
She went to stay with her friend in her 2-bedroom house, and it's pretty cramped there.
Oh, well.
Her friend blasted me on social media saying I kicked her and her kids out over nothing.
Sure did.
My
Not
husband
over
and I
nothing,
just
though.
want to give our kids a safe space, but I
As you
was wondering
should.
if I was wrong.
No, you were
Because
not.
she had 4 kids and they didn't really do
Nope.
anything to deserve this.
She should have thought about her
No,
kids.
right.
Before she opened her
Nope.
mouth, she should have thought about her kids.
Nope.
She
But
had
her
to think about
kids-
your kids.
Her kids are of age to where they know that CJ is diabetic and don't touch his snacks. Like, where's the boundaries?
For sister, so
I am coming. No, you in my house. Respect my rule. Abide by my rules and go
And
find
you
you
talk about
someplace else.
those kids. Yo, you care about those kids more than your real family. Those kids are my real family.
How dare
They're
you.
my kids.
How dare you?
I didn't birth them, but those are my kids. Sister, I'm telling you, you better enjoy sleeping at too hot in the cot because you couldn't be coming back to my house. Disrupting my home, disrupting my peace. That's one thing I don't play about is disrupting my peace. I refuse. But you think you're gonna disrespect my child?
Nope.
Child, please, I don't care who you are. Disrespect my child and see what happens. Sister or not, you're at where you're at now because you don't know how to mind your mouth.
You're mad
You know,
because your
talk yourself out
husband
of
cheated. Okay, let's talk about the real thing you're mad at. Your
Talk
husband
about
cheated, and you're having to go play house with your brothers-in-law, your brother and your brother-in-law, and you see how they're treating their kids, and because your husband cheated and he chose another woman over his family. You feel some type of way. You misplaced anger is what you have. Place that anger somewhere else. Go buy your kids some snacks, since that's what they like, is to be snacking.
I don't even want to read no story. You don't.
I am done.
You talking about that choosing them over your real family?
Boy, I tell you, you privileged.
Anyway, y'all know how these Reddit stories gets us, especially when it comes to kids. Don't play with no kids.
Right.
Don't. But
That baby
CJ
didn't ask to be diabetic.
Right. CJ, you so sweet because I would have make it in the throat. But anyway, we have 48 subscribers, y'all.
Really?
Yes. 48 subscribers. I don't know, 48. I'll look it up. So once again, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all for rocking out with us. We thank y'all for supporting us. And let me tell you, support does not mean monetary to us, okay? Because whatever Natalie and I need to do for our channel, we come out of our own pockets.
We budget
for this channel. Support simply means this: liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing, and telling someone about It's Your Life.
Yes.
That's exactly what support means. It costs nothing for you to hit that button, but let me share it. And to watch our videos all the way through. You know what you could do? As you're cooking, you can have your little YouTube on there playing. As you're cooking, as you're cleaning. Next thing you know, 30 minutes went on by and we are out of your way. And you ain't gotta hear from us to the day after next. We only hitting y'all up 3 times after week.
Say that, girl.
Just 3 times.
Say that one more time.
That's it. And if y'all got a channel or something that y'all need support on, let us know. If you got something. Nelly and I are known for supporting people. So all we ask is for those that know us to support us. Word of mouth is something so serious.
It is.
And we appreciate it all. So please don't think that, we don't see the comments, especially from, my mama, I love you, dear. I love you, love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Because you really support us and stay
She do.
The comments, I see the shares, the likes, and I appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it so much. So continue doing what you're doing so me and Natalie can continue doing what we're doing.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Alright? So until next time, because we will see y'all for Motivational Monday. We love y'all. We hope y'all have a great weekend. Be safe.
I'm gonna be safe and I'm gonna be popping this thing on a real man on the weekend. Thank you.